Well, the most important thing is an understanding that the law of attraction says that whatever you got going on, as you focus for as little as 17 seconds, another vibrational equivalent is going to join it. In other words, another vibration is going to jump on your disc. And each vibration that joins you causes the momentum to become more. And as the momentum becomes more, it makes it more possible, more probable, and more easy for another vibration like it to jump on the wheel. That's what momentum is. 17 seconds is all it takes to start momentum. But the question is, so I've had 17 and 17 and 17 and 17 and 17. I've got a lot of momentum going. In fact, I'm feeling rage because I've been there so long. I have deprived myself of my alignment for long enough that now I'm feeling rage. So how can I slow that momentum? Well, you can't just jump up there. You just can't do it. Law of attraction's not going to help you in any way about that. You could become exhausted and fall asleep, but when you awaken, the probability is that you're going to pick up pretty much where you were and get that momentum going. Although you do have more probability of slowing momentum when you first awaken than at any other time in the day. In other words, that is a really good time. So if you could make a list of things that you are planning to do, you might not do it, but you'd like to do it first thing in the morning, just to give yourself a little better opportunity to slow that negative momentum down. We want you to withdraw your attention from it because it's attention to it that equals the momentum. So if you take the subject and you try to think an opposing thought, it's not likely you're going to do it because it already has this momentum going. You're going to join that thought. So it's better for you to change the subject altogether with the interest or intention of getting momentum going in a better feeling direction. And the more general you are, the more likelihood you are to find something like that. So what we would like it to do is to pose a question in your mind of something that you're not angry about, something that you could feel good about. What's the best feeling thing in your life? So it really is like a determination. You're saying, these things I understand. I understand law of attraction. I get the 17-second thing that Abraham was talking about. Therefore, I understand momentum. Therefore, I understand I'm normal. I understand that there's nothing in the world wrong with me. It's just the laws of the universe and the way that I'm applying them, all working and functioning exactly as they should. And all is really well about that. But I am seeking a subject that I can get some other momentum going on. Not a reverse momentum. I'm not trying to solve that problem. I'm interested in seeing if I can get some other momentum going on any subject. Can I fly high? Or can I fly higher than I have been flying higher? So that causes me to pose a question to myself. What do I want to do? What do I like? What would I like to do? What makes me happy? Those kinds of questions. So what makes you happy? What makes you feel good? What do you enjoy doing? Truly, and we love you so much. When that kind of momentum is happening and you've got that adrenaline rush going, you kind of have to just let it play out. Esther remembers being at Estes Park with Kate when she was really little and climbing up this high ladder for a very big slide. And Kate wanted to do it. She looked at it. It looked fun. She could see the kids coming down and having a lot of fun. So she really wanted to do it. And as they climbed up higher and higher and higher and higher and higher, once she got up there, it looked different to her. And she wanted to climb back down the ladder. And Esther said, let's just sit here for a while. We don't have to go right now. Let's just sit here and watch the others go. But the more Kate watched them go, the more she didn't want to go. And so Esther just nudged her. Because she knew that once the momentum started, that there was no turning back. And Esther did not want to climb down that ladder. So there is that sort of momentum thing going on. In other words, you've got momentum. And if you can get yourself to a place where the momentum serves you, that's really what you're wanting to do. You're wanting to focus in a way that a little good feeling momentum will serve you. And then what happens is, before you know it, you've got enough going that those other things that were bothering you aren't coming up as often because you've got that other momentum going that you're owning, that you're experiencing, that is more chronic, that is more usual, that is more active. There is that thing that we used to call, and we still call, we just don't talk about it as much, pivoting, where when you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. But if there's a lot of momentum going before you define what you don't want, then you're just shouting in rage what you do want. In other words, there's no allowing of it. So the key really is getting as general as you can and picking something that feels better. And you see, if you don't know about this stuff, if you don't know about law of attraction, if you don't know that well-being abounds, if you don't know that you're a vibrational offerer, if you don't know that the way you feel equals your point of attraction, if you don't know any of this, then there's no focus and there's no expectation of meaningful results. But when you do know about law of attraction, and you do know about your emotional guidance system, and you do know about the 17 seconds of law of attraction, picking it up and picking it up and picking it up and causing the momentum, now you can take that knowledge and apply it, even though it's a little rough in the beginning, and get immediate feedback results, which is more momentum. That's the most lovely of momentum, isn't it? To know what you don't want and therefore know what you do want, but not be a vibrational match to what you do want because you've been practicing what you don't want. So your law of attraction is just bringing you more and more of what you don't want, which just makes you know more clearly what you do want. But now you're deliberately applying some focus. And you've got a little bit of control over it because you're doing it in the early subtle stages. You're not waiting until the adrenaline's flowing and you're feeling rage. And so now you're reaching for a thought that feels better and finding it and having immediate response from the universe in the form of emotion in response to your finding it. Do you know that the emotion is the first thing that happens of the grid filling in to show you that you've changed your vibrational frequency? So now you're vibrating in a better feeling place. The momentum is already going, and now thoughts that are more like that are more accessible to you than they've ever been. And the most important part of this conversation is you understand that. You know that. You're more likely to recognize the evidence of it than you were before. So you're not just flying blind. You're deliberately utilizing the laws of the universe. We applaud you because we don't see many of you defying gravity. You just don't get out there on your balconies and say, I'm going to test it. Instead, you let it work for you. You found all kinds of ways to let these laws of physics that have been established and do have momentum work for you. So you understand inertia and you understand gravity and you design your vehicles in order to benefit from them. And you've learned about leverage and you've learned about weights. There are all kinds of things that you've learned to do. You've learned about aerodynamics, which seems like defying gravity, but it isn't. It's using other physical forces to your benefit, you see. So we watch you wisely using those laws to your benefit. Why not use law of attraction to your benefit? Why not bless its utter consistency and applaud what it reflects back to you and deliberately learn how to do it? The first people who decided to fly airplanes didn't soar like you all did. In other words, you've got a lot of momentum going in that aero industry that is serving you really well. You didn't come on the first attempt. And so don't ask yourself to get there immediately. Just take pleasure in the first attempt. You can't remember it because you weren't here, but can you imagine what it felt like, that first lift off and that first sustaining of some altitude? Can you imagine how thrilling that felt? It was just the first step, and then more momentum and more momentum and more momentum came. But it's a gradual thing. It's gradual for all of you. And the universal forces are shoring you up and supporting you every step of the way, saying to you, this is where you are now. 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 And you're right. The more you say, I like this part of where I am, and I like this part of where I am, and I adore this part of where I am, and I like that over there where I'm not, but I still like it, and I like that over there where I'm not quite, and I like that too, and I like this where I am, and I appreciate this where I am. As you practice those vibrations, there will become momentum, and the momentum of a vibration is what makes it come easy to you. Until in time, no one can break your stride. You're just a thriver, looking for different opportunities and experiences in which to thrive. If you just foster your own and line up with the source within you and practice it until you own it, until it's steady and sure and therefore easy to come by because you've practiced it. What you're going for is harmony with the flow. Because life has caused you to put a lot in your vortex, and you're wanting to experience the flow of that. Do you ever get it done? You don't ever get it done. Do you ever get it wrong? Can't get it wrong. Can't get it wrong because it's never done. So why the intense score taking? Why the intense score taking on this ever-evolving, ever-expanding becoming, you say? Do you think that through life that you've come to good decisions? Do you think that you're still in the process of formulating those decisions? Do you think that you're in the process of modifying decisions? Don't you think that everybody else is too? Is it productive to try to, in any moment in time, understand everybody's decisions, understand your decisions, get it all lined up, and only go where the good decisions are? Is that even possible? That'll make you feel overwhelmed. That'll clog your pipes. Or does it seem more productive to just pay attention to your alignment, understanding that law of attraction will sift through all of the perspectives and all of the decisions and all of the vibrational points of attraction and all of the grids of all of the people that are all around, and that those in the vibrational vicinity of that which you are will, by powerful law of attraction, make their way into your experience for the enhancement of you and them and us and all that is. So do you really care? Is it important at all to sift through opinions? Is it important to change an opinion? Esther realized the other day, in a very intense effort to be understood, because she'd come to a decision that she knew with everything in her was the right decision for her. But she felt like others needed to be convinced about it. And the more she tried to explain to them, the more she clogged her own pipes, and the worse she felt, which made her feel like she had to explain more, until it just got worse and worse and worse and worse until the pressure tank is about to explode. Fortunately, you have sleep. And when you sleep, it takes the pressure off because you can't stay focused. So then you have the opportunity of refocusing, you see. So your human effort, we love you so much, at being understood by those around you is the primary way you introduce pressure and resistance to your experience. And it'd be different if you could ever convince any of them, but we've never seen you effective at that with any of them. Because under those conditions, your power of influence is puny. You don't make any headway. All you do, jam up your pipe. They've got their pipes jammed up. Now you're all efforting and you're all mad at each other about it and you're not flowing. Meanwhile, you could be. See? Really good. We are appreciating who you are and where you are, and we are exhilarated about where we are all